Hi there and welcome to HashTag on CIB24.com. I'm Mallika, and this episode we're talking Polar Vortex. By now, you've probably heard about the Polar Vortex, our very own supervillain type phenomenon that's currently making life pretty miserable for about 240,000 Canadians and Americans. And in case you haven't heard, the Polar Vortex is a name given to the circulation of strong upper-level winds normally found around the North Pole that has so lovingly descended on North America, throwing residents into sub-freezing temperatures.
Parts of the US and Canada are gripped by freezing temperatures as a polar vortex weather system sends the mercury running for cover.
Yep, pretty awful. And while the worst seems to have passed, if you have decided to call it quits and are hibernating for the winter, there are some fun cold weather Bill Nye type experiments and other activities you can try at home to buy the time until the spring. The first one is the Super Soaker experiment. This one is really easy and doesn't require a lot of prep. Check it out. Wow, my inner nerd just got really excited. So how does that work? Well, when water that is warmer than the air around it is introduced to the cold, it freezes into tiny ice crystals. And the warmer the water, the faster it freezes. Although I don't recommend putting boiling water into a super soaker because the New York Times also put out this fun trick on January 5th, and by the 7th, heard of at least 50 cases of people burning themselves in a tent. So this one does come with an advisory. Another fun one is blowing bubbles. If you can manage to unscrew a bubble bottle with your giant thermal mitts and hold up the tiny plastic wand, look what can happen. Wasn't that amazing? Basically, freezing anything that doesn't normally freeze is pretty cool. One news station in Michigan decided to freeze a whole line of laundry just to see how the items of clothing would feel. Alright, now this next one brings back childhood memories only a Canadian can appreciate, making taffy. Instead of venturing out to a sugar bush, and in case you didn't know, that's what maple tree farms are called, the frigid weather allows you to do this at home. All you need to do is heat up maple syrup with butter, allow it to cool a little, and then pour it into the snow. If you roll a popsicle stick over it, it hardens onto it, and you have a homemade treat instantly. The last suggestion I have is a little more me. Binge watch a season of a show you've been meaning to get to. I'm a little behind on the Game of Thrones bandwagon, but the new season does start this spring, so you have time to get caught up. Some other popular ones that you'll want to catch are Walking Dead, The Wire, Breaking Bad, or just commit to rewatching the entire series of The Sopranos. You won't regret it. Or, even easier to find, try a newer series on Netflix. You won't have to leave your bed for 4 days, and I hear Orange is the New Black is trending right now. But in all seriousness, there are a ton of things to do during a cold spell to stay active. Most importantly, stay warm, stock up on the vitamin D, and embrace the privilege that is seasonal change. I'm Mallika, and this has been HashTag on CIB24.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel below for updates on weekly videos. We'll see you next time.